Hey YouTube, welcome back. Thanks again for stopping in and checking out the channel here. Tonight out here in the garage, I got the trusty old 450 out. I'm going to try and head out to another race this weekend. We're going to go do a little bit of flat tracking this time instead of motocross. So that means we're switching some suspension over again and switching some tires. So I went up in the loft and grabbed some tires. I got a sway bar and I got another rear suspension linkage right there. So like I said, tonight we'll be throwing this stuff on and probably trying to set the ride height up a little bit and try and get her set up a little bit for some flat track. So if you guys want to stick around and watch, I'll probably set you guys over here on time lapse because you guys don't want to watch me change tires you guys have already saw me do that quite a bit, unfortunately. Alright guys, so we got the tires changed, and the next thing I'm going to do is put the linkage on. So in order to replace this shock linkage, let's see here, I am going to basically unbolt right up here this little through bolt on the swing arm, and then the shock bolt down here, and then up there on the frame. And then of course you're going to want to jack it up from up here around the engine. That way this rear swing arm suspension and stuff is all hanging. It'll make it easier to get the shock bolt out when there's no load on the rear shock. So that's where I'm at now. So we'll go ahead and get this rear linkage swapped over, and like I said, that should also lower the ride height on this bike substantial amount, I believe. I don't remember exactly how much it lowered it when I switched them last time, but that'll get my rear ride height down, and then I'll have to adjust the front shocks to try and get it down to where I need to be. So go ahead and get this rear linkage done. Alright, there you guys go. You guys saw that. I just swapped over that rear linkage, and I didn't measure anything, but I'd say it probably brought it down about an inch or so in the rear. Like I said, I have to adjust the ride height on it a little bit and get it where I want it. The next thing I need to do tonight is get the sway bar on the front. Alright, so to get the sway bar on the front of these, basically what you're going to need to do is pull out this front upper control arm bolt. Then normally they give you a longer bolt. You put the longer bolt through, put the bracket on the front, and then they normally have other brackets and stuff that you can mount to the A-arms to attach the links. So I'm going to go ahead and get that installed, and we'll get back at it. Alright guys, so we got the A-arms, the sway bar all mounted up. So like I said, we got these brackets here, and then I did this off camera. Just put these clamps on, and I just try and keep it so that the links are straight as much as possible. And I don't know if you guys probably paid attention, but the Wrath logo is on backwards on the spike, of course. And the reason it's backwards is because I'm lazy, and that's the truth. This was a sway bar that I borrowed off of a buddy, and it's actually for a YFZ 450R, which is why these brackets are actually so tall. The 450 brackets are a little bit smaller. And then the way that he had it mounted on the YFZ, I had to turn it around just so that I could keep these links pretty straight. So I basically ran it the opposite direction that he was running, which I think on the YFZ, he was able to mount his on the front of the A-arms, where I mounted mine on the back of the A-arms. So like I said, we've got the tire swapped, got the linkages swapped, we got the sway bar on. I need to adjust the ride height and stuff, but it's getting a little late tonight, so I'm probably gonna call it a night and go in, and I'll see you guys back out here probably tomorrow evening. All right, YouTube, it's another day. We're back out here in the garage. The other night, like I said, we got the sway bar, the linkage, and the tires all swapped over on the 450. One of the other things I want to do is change the ride height. I'd like to lower it, almost an inch would be ideal, but I don't know how. I don't have a whole lot of adjustment to lower it back on my rear shock here. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably lower the rear as much as I can, take a measurement, and then we'll adjust the front. And like I said, I like to try and keep the front just a little bit higher than I do in the rear. So like I said, the first thing you want to do before you even measure your ride height is make sure you've got all your tire pressures set to the pressure that you're going to run. Like I said, that way I don't mess with your ride height measurements. And you also want to try and make sure you get a level spot on the floor to take your measurements and stuff from. So I'm gonna set you guys up over here. Alright guys, so as you saw there, I didn't have a whole lot of adjustment in the rear. Whenever I tried to lower it, I pretty much lost all my preload on the rear spring. So I'm about as low as I can go with the rear spring, because I definitely don't want to lose preload on it at all. So I was only able to lower the rear maybe another 1/4 inch or so. So then I come up and lowered the front down about another 1/4 inch or so. And like I said, that's about all I can do. The only other thing I could do would be get a different spring. So that's it. Like I said, got her all switched back over for going and running a TT race. Hopefully the weather holds out, and if it does, then I guess the next video you guys will see is of me and my daughter out in North Carolina running a TT race. So like I said, keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully the weather holds out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.